There is a perception out there that all real estate agents are the same. So you can hire one, you can hire another, but they're all the same. I don't believe that. After I met with Paul, he sat down, he has non-traditional strategies, specifically for pricing. And I was really intrigued by his approach. And I was a little bit concerned at the beginning. And then I found he was brilliant. So I went with it, and it paid off in, tenfold. So Paul explained his pricing strategy. I accepted his pricing strategy and believed in it. And so what he did was he identified 2 days, and that's it, 2 days to have an open house. He scheduled appointments, and he overlapped the appointments so that there were people lined out in front of the house to get in for their appointment, their 15-minute visit. And so it created this energy, and people were talking, and they wanted to be the first one to make an offer, the first one to be in the house. We ended up with multiple offers. We had sight unseen offers. We had reaction to the photos that were posted, the video, the walkthrough. That was just brilliant on his part. And so it paid off. We had offers from Northern California, sight unseen, and Paul ended up saying, no, we're not going to take your offer. We're going to wait until after the house is shown. So you're welcome to make an offer at that time. So, and then he gave people a deadline for the offer. So it had to be in, say, Monday at 5 o'clock, and he stuck to it. And so there was an urgency of the buyers to be in there and get their offers in. So Paul suggested that I stage the house. He walked the house with me and identified rooms that I could remove furniture or remove artwork or include artwork. He introduced me to a stager. She came over and went room by room and identified what changes to make, and she was very easy to work with. She came highly recommended, and so we staged the house over a weekend, and then pictures were taken, and then the open house happened. Paul was awesome at communication. I need to be communicated with. And so he texted, he called, he emailed. He knew that when I asked a question that I needed an answer right away. And he was always very responsive. He picked up the phone whenever I called. I felt very, very solid with him, and that he was doing the right thing for me. And he never made a decision without me. And so I appreciated that, because I've never sold a home. This was my first time. And he made the process so easy for me. So Paul was engaged to also identify a home for me to buy. So not only did I have to sell my old home, but I had to purchase a new one. And I asked him to have overlapping time between. So I needed a buyback on my house that I was selling and time to move into a new house. So we put several offers in, and we weren't getting it just right. So this one, we got it perfectly. And so we put in the offer, and then we got a call back, and so the offer was countered, and it was just countered at highest and best. And so he suggested that I include in my offer, my counter offer, to pay the fees. So to pay the home warranty fees, very small fees that amounted to less than $5,000. And at first I was resistant. I'm like, I'm not going to pay those. That's the seller's fees. And he said, no, this will hold you apart from everybody else. And so in addition to that, we waived a couple of contingencies and presented the offer. And sure enough, the seller reviewed 3 counters, and the agent called Paul and said, that mine was not the highest offer, but it had the easiest terms. And it was so simple that the buyer or the seller felt very comforted that we could close in 21 days, and we did. I would highly recommend Paul for buying or selling your home. He's great to work with. I feel very safe. I felt comforted, and he got the job done. And he exceeded my expectations in a huge way on both the buying and the selling side. So I absolutely refer him to anybody who's looking for an agent.